Hey everybody, Brett here, and today is day 91 of my carnivore diet. And as mentioned yesterday, I wanted to do a little bit of a recap today. I'm not doing it with my computer and logging everything. Today was Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers out there. It was Mother's Day, and we did not kind of stop long enough for me to do that. Spent a lot of time today with my wife and kids, dinner, all those fun things that you do on Mother's Day. So did all that, and then, I'll just do a little heavenly Mother's Day to my mother. This is our first Mother's Day without her, so a little extra emotion today, not having her with us. She is on my arm forever. That's my stethoscope for her. She was a nurse practitioner and a college nursing professor for many, many, many years. Taught, I don't even know how many people, but happy Mother's Day. So, my recap and my numbers. Little surprising because a little bit of this math I didn't do until just a little bit ago. Starting on the inches side, right? Because a lot of people kind of give me flack for weighing myself every single day. Say, don't worry about the weight every day. Weigh yourself once in a while. Look at the inches. Look at this amount of mass that you're losing, right? Look at the way your shirts fit, right? This is a 2X shirt, and it is very, very loose. I just ordered a 2X Cleveland Indians baseball jersey. And yes, it is a Cleveland Indians baseball jersey. It is for Ricky Vaughn, number 99. And if any of you out there know who that is, I love you. You like good movies. But so I thought I would start with the inches side of things. So I measure my inches every 2 weeks. So I measured these at the end on Sunday a week ago today. So this is a week behind technically, but still measured every 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, I lost 8.5 inches. And I measure chest, belly, hips, biceps, thigh, and calf. Okay. So that's what I was measuring when I did a fitness competition 9 years ago. So I went with those same measurements for this one. But so in 2 weeks, I lost 8.5 inches from those areas. Again, chest, belly, hip, bicep, thigh, calf, right? And you use, for the legs, I use a measurement off the floor. For the hips and the chest, and that chest is nipples, right? Belly button, and then just the widest part of your hips, whatever that happens to be at that moment. That's how I measure those. Bicep, I do like a forefinger from a right angle. So just above the fourth finger. So right here, measure there. And then the calf and the thigh, I measure a certain number of inches off the floor. So it's the same spot every time. So did our best to be consistent with it. Is it perfect? No, but it's about as consistent as I can be. So 8.5 inches after the first 2 weeks. After week 4, I lost an additional 8 inches. After week 6, an additional 2.5, right? So I got through that honeymoon phase of the diet, and it dropped off a little bit, dropped off quite a bit. In week 8, I lost an additional 3.25. Week 10 was an additional 4.25. And then week 12, which was this past Sunday, I lost an additional 5.88. So that totaled out to be 32.38 inches that I lost around my body. That equated to going from a 2X size shorts to an XL. It equated to going from a 3X being snug and fitting to a 2X, which fits like this. And this is one of the shirt that I got in Mexico with a particular dive group, and I always like to refer to Mexican cut because the shirts down there always seem to be fit a little bit tighter than a shirt that I would buy in the US cut to the same size, 2X, 3X. But they would be tighter. So this is a Mexican 2X from the Cenote guy. Little plug for him. If you're diving cenotes in Tulum area, look him up. So that's amazing. My sport jacket. So the sport jacket that I was wearing was a 52 long, and it had been let out all the way, and I was just able to button it, right? If I let my gut out and didn't hold it, I was pulling on that button string. This earlier today, I was handed a new coat, a 50 long, and it fits well. I need to take it in. I need to take it to the tailor and get it taken in just a little bit. I'm going to hold off on that for another month or two to see if it needs to be taken in even more. But I'm pretty sure I could probably fit into a 48 right now. And that just amazes me. So, throw weight out the window and everything. That in and of itself is something to be amazed at. This morning, I called my father this morning, and he told me he just got done watching my video from yesterday, my actual day 90 video. And he was impressed with the way that I look. He was worried about my eye, but he was impressed with the way I look, and he said he was proud of me. That's probably the most, the best compliment, anything that I could ever get. I love my father dearly, and I always wanted to make him proud in everything I do. So for him to tell me that he was proud of me for taking this on and doing it and maintaining it and not like giving up, not eating chips and sopapillas and all the fajita stuff and everything that was at dinner tonight, because we took my wife to a Mexican restaurant for dinner tonight. So I didn't do any of that. I ate my beef, and that was it. Drank my water. So sticking with it hard for myself, for my wife, my kids, and making my dad proud is a huge bonus. Huge bonus for me. But that's kind of the size side of things, right? My hats are fitting better. You think about your face getting fat, but you don't think about your head getting fat. My head was fat. So my hats fit better now. And it's amazing. So, size, that's about it. As far as the weight goes, and remember, weight is the reason that I started all this. I started this at 332 pounds, 91 days ago, technically. Really just at an end. I didn't know what to do. I knew I had to do something, didn't know what to do. Had researched carnivore for a while before I started, set a plan together, made sure I knew what I was going to do, what I was going to eat, when I was going to eat to start, and kind of put it all together, got my wife behind me, bought the food, and started. So that was February 12th, 2024. That's when this thing all really kicked off. And on that day, I was 332.6 pounds. So 332.6. So over the last 90 days, I have lost on average, and this is averaging, considering the negative days when I lost weight, the positive days when I actually put a little bit back on and everything else. The average loss was 5.5 pounds per week. 5.25 pounds. I misread that. 5.25 pounds per week. 21 pounds per month. It's actually 0.69 pounds per day, which is pretty good because when I did these numbers a few weeks ago, I was only at like 0.7 or 0.71. So in the last few weeks, I haven't dropped off or haven't thrown off my average too much, but 0.69 pounds per day. It was a total of 63.2 pounds in 91 days. Amazing for me. Just absolutely amazing to me. I am currently 269.4 pounds, and I'm not done. My current goal is going to be smashed because my current goal is to get to 260 pounds, and that is to be done by June 22nd. So, June 22nd is still, 41 days away? I believe it's 41 days. So in 41 days, if I lose a quarter pound a day, I didn't do that math. You can do that math. It's going to be 60's gone. 250 is there. 240 is approaching. So I'm just flabbergasted. But it's hard. It's not easy. It takes a lot of willpower. It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, as somebody told me one day. And really, you have to find your why. You have to set your goal, define a plan, and just work it all the way through. If you don't do those things, the likelihood of you succeeding at it is very low. That's a recipe needed to do just about anything you want to do that takes more than 5 minutes, right? Because if anything takes more than 5 minutes, you can get distracted. You can get a phone call. You can get pulled onto something else. You can get a million things. But if you don't have a plan to get back to it and stay with it and drive through to reach a goal that you want, then it's never going to work, right? I smoked. I used to smoke for, embarrassingly to say, near 25 years. I started smoking when I was like around age 10, and I quit at 35. And I quit smoking many times, but I never stayed with it because I was always quitting for someone else and for only someone else, right? My wife didn't want me to smoke. My dad told me to quit smoking, right? Like, none of that mattered to me until the day that I found a motivation for me. And the day that I found the motivation for me, I quit cold turkey immediately. Never had another cigarette. And that's what I finally found with the weight, right? I was at the point of wanting to do surgery to lose weight. And that was not something it wasn't something I was willing to put my wife through. So for me, that was a motivation, right? I want to be able to scuba dive longer, deeper, in more areas, doing different kinds of diving without having to carry extra big tanks and things like that. That's a motivation for me, right? And then being able to do certain things that I couldn't do. I just couldn't do because I was too big. I literally would send my kids to the basement to pick something up off my desk and bring it to me because I didn't want to go through up and down the stairs. So all of those things were motivations for me, drove me to put a plan together and stick with that plan. And my plan has been, it changes. Every week it changes. Sometimes during the day it has to change because of the situation that arises. Last week was a good example. They were bringing in lunch. They knew that I was only eating beef. They brought in all seafood, mostly breaded, which meant I wasn't eating, right? And it wasn't, I was mad because I couldn't eat or anything else. My plan is to eat beef. If there's no beef in front of me, I'm not going to eat. So you set that plan and you follow through with it. And it's not easy, but it is worth it in the end. Somebody said skinny tastes better than fat. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there are a lot of things that make you fat that taste good, right? Your mind tastes that sugar and it wants it. Now, though, I don't. So it does get easier. But emotional connections with food are huge for me. So when we had sopapillas hit the table tonight, I was drawn back to 14 years ago when my family first moved to Colorado, the first time we had sopapillas as a family. We never had them in Ohio. So it was the first time we had them here. So I was drawn back to that memory, how happy I was. And I wanted to taste one of those sopapillas, but I didn't because it's not on my plan. And I have a goal that is bigger than my current 269.4 weight. So that's it. That's my high horse for the night. You know, again, I encourage you guys to share this video with people that you think it can benefit. Liking and subscribing helps YouTube do that by default, because they compare your subscriptions with this new one, and then other people that have those other subscriptions then get presented with my videos in front of them. It kind of surprises me. My videos have been presented to people more than 500,000 times. Now, they've only been watched around 30,000 times, which is fine. It doesn't matter to me. But that means there's been 30,000 times that people have watched the video because, one, they want to keep up with me, or two, there's something about that video that intrigues them, and maybe it's going to benefit them. You know, this video here, hearing these numbers, is a good example of something that is doable. I never thought I could do this, but it's happening. And like I said, I'm not done. I'm not even close to being done right now. I'm so happy about everything. I'm doing Lion right now, which is just beef, salt, water, nothing else. Now, I'm not going to stay on Lion long term. I'm going to use Lion for 2 more weeks, is what I told my wife. Then I'm going to go back to Carnivore. And I'll probably stay on Carnivore through my trip. And then when I come back, what I'm betting is that I'm going to probably switch back to Lion for at least a month again, do another 4-week Lion sprint, because I'm sure that during the course of my trip, I'm going to waver a little bit because I'm going to be drinking, and I know that. I'm not going to lie about that one at all to myself or anybody else. I'm going to have some drinks every day, but I'm going to try and stay away from the food. Depending on the drink is going to affect willpower. So giving up alcohol in this diet is good because, 1, it helps you lose weight, but 2, it keeps your mind focused on what your actual plan is, what your goals are. So it's going to be good. So Lion for the next 2 weeks, at least. Then I'm currently planning to go back to Carnivore. Well, I'll get back to my, bacon and eggs and beef primarily, some chicken. So I've mixed in some bison, mixed in some seafood. Lobster tails were on sale today at Costco. But I won't get to eat them for 2 weeks. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna buy them and freeze them and then deal with it. I'll just wait. If they're on sale in 2 weeks, then they're on sale in 2 weeks. Otherwise, then I won't have them. But picked up ribeyes and picked up 2 packs of ribeyes. So I got another 9 ribeyes, and then I bought a big rack of beef ribs. So that's on the agenda for the rest of the week. Rest of a couple weeks. So that's where it's at. I think I shared it again. Total loss at this point is 63.2 pounds. I weigh 269.4, 9.4 pounds away from my next goal. And I'll be hitting that well in advance, which I'm really surprised that the rate of loss is still staying where it's at, but it's staying there. So 269.4. Pretty great day. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep this video getting out there. Beyond that, I will talk to you tomorrow.